Hi, everybody. Welcome to Enrichment. I'm Mrs. Inman, and today I'm going to share a very special book with you. It's called Amazing Grace. And I love this book because it shows if you really work hard, you can accomplish almost anything. And Grace works really hard, and she accomplished her dream. So, our goal for today is I can make a decision. So, at the end of the book, we're going to talk about a decision that you all can make about your life. And this is our book, Amazing Grace by Mary Hoffman and Caroline Bench. And before we get started, let's think about this. Do you ever like to pretend to be someone else? Well, that's what actors and actresses do all the time. And in this story, Grace is an actress and she likes to pretend to be different people. Have you ever pretended? Maybe you pretend to be Superman, or maybe you were some other hero, or a cook, or maybe a banker, or a teacher. Turn to your buddy and real quickly share and let them share with you. What have you dreamed about being before or becoming? Or something you dreamed about doing that just seems so impossible? Go. After you and your partner have shared, we'll stop and turn back to the screen because I'm going to read this story to you. It's all about amazing grace. I have my book right here and I'll read it as I share the pictures with you. Grace was a girl who loved stories. She didn't mind if they were read to her or told to her or made up in her own head. She didn't care if they were from books or on TV or in films or on the video or out of Nana's long memory. Grace just loved stories. And after she'd heard them, or sometimes while they were still going on, Grace would act them out. And she always gave herself the most exciting part. Why would too, wouldn't you? Give yourself the most exciting part? Grace went into battle as Joan of Arc and wove a wicked web as Anansi, the Spider-Man. She hid inside the wooden horse at the gates of Troy. She crossed the Alps with Hannibal and 100 elephants. She sailed the 7 seas with a peg leg and a parrot. You notice her cat is in a lot of the pictures? Her cat helps her out, doesn't he? She was Hiawatha, sitting by the shining big seawater, and Mowgli in the back garden jungle. But most of all, Grace loved to act pantomimes. She liked to be Dick Whittington, turning to hear the bells of London Tower, or Aladdin rubbing the magic lamp. The best characters in pantomimes were boys, but Grace played them anyway. She didn't let that stop her just because they were boys. She still did the acting. When there was no one else around, Grace played all the parts herself. She was a cast of thousands. Paw the cat usually helped out. We saw that, didn't we? And sometimes she could persuade Mom and Nana to join in when they weren't too busy. Then she was Dr. Grace, and their lives were in her hands. Do you see how she has them all bandaged up? One day at school, her teacher said they were going to do the play of Peter Pan. Grace put her hand up to be Peter Pan. Well, I mean, that's the most exciting part, right? You can't be called Peter, said Raj. That's a boy's name. But Grace just kept her hand up. You can't be Peter Pan, whispered Natalie. He wasn't black. But Grace kept her hand up. All right, said the teacher. Lots of you want to be Peter Pan. So we'll have to have auditions. We'll choose the parts next Monday. When Grace got home, she seemed rather sad. What's the matter? Asked Ma. Raj says I couldn't be Peter Pan because I'm a girl. That just shows all Raj knows about it, said Ma. Peter Pan is always a girl. Well, in the plays of Peter Pan, usually Peter Pan is acted by a girl. Isn't that funny? Grace cheered up. Then later she remembered something else. Natalie says I can't be Peter Pan because I'm black, she said. Ma started to get angry, but Nana stopped her. It seems that Natalie is another one who doesn't know anything, she said. You can be anything you want, Grace, if you put your mind to it. The next day was Saturday, and Nana told Grace they were going out. In the afternoon, they caught a bus and a train into town. Nana took Grace to a grand theater. Outside it said, Rosalie Wilkins in Romeo and Juliet, in sparkling lights. Are we going to the ballet, Nana? Asked Grace. We are, honey. But I want you to look at these pictures first. So outside the theater, this was the poster. Nana showed Grace some photographs of a beautiful young girl dancer in a tutu, stunning new Juliet. It said on one of them. That one is little Rosalie from back home in Trinidad, said Nana. Her granny and me, well, we grew up together on the island. She always was asking me, do I want tickets to see her little girl dance? So this time I said yes. After the ballet, Grace played the part of Juliet dancing around her room in her imaginary tutu. I can be anything I want, she thought. I can even be Peter Pan. On Monday, they had auditions. Their teacher let the class vote on the parts. Raj was chosen to play Captain Hook. Natalie was going to be Wendy. Then they had to choose Peter Pan. Grace knew exactly what to do and all the words to say. It was a part she had often played at home, and the children all voted for her. You were great, said Natalie. So did you notice that Grace worked really hard? She practiced her dancing, and she learned all of her parts. And since she worked hard, she became Peter Pan. Here she is. Isn't she beautiful as Peter Pan? The play was a great success, and Grace was an amazing Peter Pan. After it was all over, she said, I feel as if I could fly all the way home. You probably could, said Ma. Yes, said Nana. If Grace put her mind to it, she can do anything she wants. That was a good book, wasn't it? I love it that she accomplished her dream. So today, what I want you to do is to be thinking about a decision. So when you make a decision, you need to think about what is something that you would like to do, but you might have to work hard to get it, just like Grace did in the story. So think about this. Why do you want it? What's something you would love to do or something to accomplish or something you like to be? How hard would you have to work to get something? So if your dream is to climb a mountain, be a mountain climber, you could talk about that. If your dream is to be an actress like Grace, you could talk about that. If one day you would like to be a police officer or a teacher or a scientist, maybe it's just something else you want to accomplish, like you want to be an adventurer and go all over the world and see the world. So it seems sort of impossible right now, but could you work for it? So turn and talk about it. If you have time, of course, you can always draw a picture about it, and I would love to see those. The next week I see you or your other Reach teacher sees you, I bet she loved them. Or you could write about it even, or do all three. So until next time, you guys, I hope all your wishes and dreams come true. Bye.